Hey everybody, welcome back into our NBA TV studios. This is Game Time, presented by State Farm. I'm Kristen Ledlow, alongside our Karan Butler, our coach Stan Van Gundy. A 5-game Saturday in the NBA. I feel like we're starting to get the hang of this, guys.
Absolutely.
A couple Saturdays in, feeling good? Let's roll the highlights, shall we? Because the Houston Rockets and James Harden looking for a third straight win. Taking on the Chicago Bulls, Zach LaVine inside, but it would be a lot of James Harden tonight, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, James Harden came into the game shooting 27% from three, but 9 for 19 tonight from three.
He said he wanted to be more efficient, wanted to turn some of that scoring into wins. Here he is. I mean, between the legs.
Gosh, that is a great pass.
Harden, yet again, this with the step back three, CB.
Yeah, I mean, we know he can score the basketball, but take that pass again that he just issued to Capella. Underrated part of his game.
Now they're going the other way, but he's just still doing the same thing.
Oh, my gosh.
What you call cooking.
Look at that pass.
To Eric Gordon for a deep open three, then Russell Westbrook with a tough basket there.
Or shot.
And he'd make that free throw.
He wasn't even going to shoot that until he got fouled,
Right.
and he was able to get it in the basket.
Look at that. Harden to Capella yet again. This time, Harden driving past the defender and getting the floater to go.
Is there any possible way to say that I think James got better?
The rest of the league hopes you're wrong about that.
The Rockets win a third straight over the Bulls, 117-94 the final score. Here's James Harden after the game.
James, the team led by just one at the half, and you blew it open here in the second. What changed?
Defensively, we got after it. I think we're pretty solid the entire game. I think in that first half, we gave them too many opportunities with our turnover, and so we try to cut those down and just try to get shot attempts up, and we did that.
Another incredible stat line for you. I just want to take a look. 42 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. It's your 32nd 40-point game since last season, 81st overall. Since last year, 6 teams haven't even had one player do that. You've done it 32 times. How are you able to just get in that offensive zone and take over?
It's a mindset. Every game is a mindset. Obviously, it's not going to happen every game, but just the attack mindset, be aggressive, and good things happen to you.
Defensively is where this group has struggled this season. You've put a focus on that. How encouraged are you with what this team has done defensively over the last 3 games?
Done an unbelievable job. That's what we're talking about. Before that, we're ranked close to last in the defense, so we're much better than that, and we'll continue to show it.
Harden with Kaylee Griffin after the game. And, Coach, you saw a lot from him. Efficiency, though, key in this game.
Yeah, the efficiency was the big difference. I mean, he's going to put up numbers because he's going to find a way to create shots. He's going to get himself to the free throw line. But to go 9 for 19 from 3 tonight, CB, that's big. I mean, when he shoots the ball well and is efficient, that helps.
Yeah, I thought he did a remarkable job at distributing the wealth, but I still need to see them do a better job of protecting that paint. Clint Capella had 4 blocks this game, but they still gave up 64 points in the paint for the Bulls.
Break down for me, Coach, some of what you saw from Harden tonight.
Well, I mean, we saw the fact that big guys here, there's no good way to defend James Harden, but switching big guys onto him, he goes right by Thaddeus Young. He draws the help from Satoransky, Daniel House there. Now he's got Thaddeus Young on him again. This is not a good matchup. Thaddeus says, you know what, I'm not getting out on him this time. So he gives him space and he shoots the 3. And now Luke Cornett switches out onto James Harden.
Oh, goodness.
Here he is. You know what's coming here. And now no one decides to help, and he's all the way to the rim. Look, it's hard. The guy's the best scorer in the NBA.
Yeah.
They're the number 1 offense in the league. There isn't a coach anywhere who can say they've got the answer to this. And so everybody tries different things. Tonight, Chicago said we're going to switch all of his pick and rolls. Those big guys are put out there on an island with the best offensive player in the game. My gosh,
Can't you appreciate, though, Karan's added analysis? My goodness.
Yes.
I'm his hype man. I got to be on the side.
Hey, that's what those poor guys that were switching on to him thought, too.
Russell Westbrook, though, CB, what did you see from his offense?
Just being efficient. He's knocking down shots. Shot the ball 50% from the field. So just rebounding the basketball. And look, he does not care about scoring. People always said that he was pressed to have a triple-double night in and night out. But I think he's at a point in his career where he's playing with his brother and James Harden, and he just want to win basketball games.
That he does. 26 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, and he'd be the first to tell you he will do statistically what it takes on any given night just in order to see his team win. A much-needed second win on the season for the New Orleans Pelicans as they beat the Charlotte Hornets 115-110. Coach, as we were watching those final minutes, we were talking about Brandon Ingram. I said, he looks a lot more confident than he used to. And you said, well, because he's shooting as well as he is. He was 8 of 12 from the field and had 25 points in this one.
Yeah, look, and he's shooting the ball with great confidence. And Karan knows, like, when you're shooting the ball well and when you develop that skill as a young player, everything else falls into line because now people have to guard you differently and everything else. He's shooting it without hesitation. It's set up the entire rest of his game.
I think no pressure of expectations. You just have the opportunity to go out there with a long leash. Your margin of error isn't small. It's just, play your game. And I think that cloud of playing in Los Angeles has hovered over him for some time, but now he get a fresh start. He's playing extremely well.
But do you think there are no expectations? This was a team that a lot of people were talking about being in the Western Conference playoff picture. Of course, that changes with Zion Williamson out indefinitely, but he could also turn things around.
That's what you call sports energy, where, people feed off that momentum of the expectations of Zion Williamson and things like that, but it's going to be a process for him to be great. I know Coach broke down the game and understands it and look at it in different layers. This team was not going to be one of the top 8 teams in the Western Conference, and right now they stand at the bottom, and that was a quality win on the road for them. But, when you look at the team, just winning and having the young guys functionally playing well, that's a welcoming sign.
No, look, I agree, and it was only twice this year have they held people under 115 points, and that's their 2 wins. So there should be a lesson there for the New Orleans Pelicans, because I agree with Karan. This Charlotte team has been surprisingly competitive all year. This is a very good road win. Ingram and Redick were both tremendous offensively, but their defense was at least better. It was more competitive. That's what they need to build toward, waiting for Zion to come back.
I was in New Orleans for the Pelicans training camp. That was before Zion got hurt. And one of the things that Coach Gentry told me is that especially with a young and inexperienced team, defense has to be the first priority. He also, though, talked about the importance of a veteran like J.J. Redick. And here he is after the game with Jen Hale.
JJ, congratulations. The first road win of the season for this team. How did this team finally get over the proverbial hump?
We kept fighting tonight. We've been in a lot of these games where it gets to the fourth quarter and it's a 1 or 2 possession game and we haven't figured out how to win. We made some stops there, came up with some big buckets, and it was really, other than B.I. going crazy there for a couple minutes, it was really good team basketball. Derek Favors made a great play out of pick and roll on the roll, finds K-Rich in the corner for 3. We had a lot of those plays tonight, and we just stuck together.
You just mentioned most of your starting lineup, all 5 of you in double-digit scoring. Do you think you finally found a rotation that works?
Well, rotations are fluid in this league, and, we're trying to find some sort of lineup that can give us a chance to win, whatever that may be. We're just searching right now.
What got you going tonight? New season high for you, back in the Carolinas.
It was the crowd. I've been coming here for 14 years. My first couple years, they booed me. They stopped booing me. And then tonight, for whatever reason, they started booing me again. So it got me going a little bit.
Well, we're going to ask everybody to boo you then.
Yeah.
You and Drew, the connection. What was his decision-making like tonight, and what did that contribute?
I thought Drew was phenomenal. He obviously has to be aggressive for us to be good offensively. I think he had some great passes, great finishes at the basket. He was Drew tonight.
Enjoy the win, JJ. Thanks for your time.
Oh, thanks.
Joel?
He is really smooth.
Coach, you laugh as JJ says they start booing him again, but he was one of the very important pieces on your team in Orlando, one of my favorite teams of all time back in 08, 09, back when I was an intern, when you and I met for the very first time. What, though, does his presence mean to a team at this point in his career?
Hey, listen, this guy's continued to get better. His best scoring year was last year. I mean, it seems like he gets better every year, like a young guy. Just the way he approaches everything, as veteran guys, I think that's the biggest lesson guys bring is how do you prepare for a game? How do you stay in shape? Get your rest. All of that stuff, you can talk about it as a coach. It doesn't mean as much as when a guy like J.J. Redick is doing it, and you can see a guy in his mid-30s having success and seeing what leads to that. That's what teaches the young guys a lesson.
How important then, Karan, is it if you are one of those young guys to be able to have a guy like J.J. Redick to look up to?
Look, it's everything. And even on the back end of my career, that's why I was able to sustain and have a little more, longevity to Coach Point. When you have a guy that really resembles and, embodies everything from a professional standpoint about being consistent, the professionalism, knocking down shots, showing that, that professionalism on a consistent basis, I think guys really absorb him. So he's going to be around for years to come. And I think his best years are still yet ahead of him going forward.
Well, it's a 5-game Saturday here in the NBA, and 3 of them